Good morning, everyone. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, canning, recipes, a little bit of everything. It is garden update time, and we're going to talk a little bit about victory gardens. But let me tell you what went on this week. Sunday night, we did get down to about 40 degrees. We were okay. It was a strong north wind, though. Monday night, we got down to 38 degrees, and Tuesday night, we got down to 37 degrees with a heavy frost. I didn't expect the frost. We were not under a frost warning. I was up at 4 a.m. that morning, and I was out here checking on the garden. As of 4 a.m. Early Tuesday morning, or Wednesday morning, excuse me, it was starting to frost on my truck, and so I got a little nervous. The frost came on really quick, a lot quicker than what I expected, but I watched it, and we got down to 37 degrees around 5:30 a.m. and I started seeing dew and moisture collect on my plants, so I came out here and started flicking them, trying to protect them. But I did get some burned plants from that 37 degrees, which I was very surprised. So let me take you around the garden and show you what's going on. And you can see that I'm probably going to be doing some replanting today. I don't think it killed anything, but I think it nipped it. And just to be safe, I'm going to get more seeds in the ground to try to hedge off anything that may die off. You may know that whenever you get a frost or a freeze, you do not see what has happened until a couple of days later, and I'm seeing it now. So let's look. Here's my squash plants, one of them, and you can look here at some of the edges of the leaves. This right here, this is where it started getting nipped, but I think these are going to be okay. I took a little hit last year and my squash plants did okay. You can see here, but let's go on down the row and let me show you. So this is why I'm a little concerned. I do think that these will rebound back, but my cucumbers I do not believe will. Let's check these out down here. Cucumbers took a hit, guys. This is what frost will do to your tenderlings. You can see the brown, you can see the shriveled edges. And so I will be in here replanting cucumbers. Beets are just fine because beets are cool weather plants, and they can tend to take a light frost. So I think we're going to be okay here, but let's look at my green beans. So over here at my bush beans, this is exactly what happened to me last year. So this concerns me because after this last year, the greens did come back pretty heavy and they looked pretty good, but we didn't get a big harvest out of them. So I'm going to be, see right there? I'm going to be replanting in between these plants today. Let me know your thoughts, guys, if you think that we'll be okay. My tomato plants in the main garden, they look to be okay. You're seeing a little bit of black spot on them because of the unequal watering that we've been getting with the rain in between, and now we're dry. But my pepper plants in the main garden, they seem to be okay. We can go on down the row here, and I'm just hoping and praying that these things are going to be all right. I'm not seeing the frost damage on these that I am on the other ones. Here's my raised bed tomatoes and pepper plants. I think they're okay, but you can see there's a little bit. I think they're going to be all right because I did fertilize them right before and watered them down real good. So again, I'm praying. You can see I have some fruit on that one over there, that these are just fine, but I'm going to watch them closely. And I do have some that I planted by seed set aside just in case I need to replant. This is my other raised bed. I think my tomato plants look okay, and my pepper plants and this one look okay. But we've had a very strange cool season, and we did last year too, and a lot of people say it's because of that grand solar minimum. Maybe, I don't know. We've had 3 very odd cool seasons though, and then we ramp up to summertime. But these are warm loving plants, and we're supposed to be in the 80s next week, so I'm expecting to see some rebound here, and I'm going to be babying them and nurturing them very carefully to keep them going. Spinach is looking great. I'm going to come out here and harvest some more today. We've been eating it like crazy, and it is so delicious. And you can see some of it's even starting to bolt, so I'm going to try to save those seeds. So here's a view of the garden as a whole. You can see from a distance it looks just fine, but when you get up close, there's some damaged plants in there that we're going to need to try to replant. I mentioned the Victory Garden, guys, out there in my garden because I wanted to explain to you what was going on back in around 1943, which is when this was published. World War II was going on, and there was a big drive for people to be self-sustaining and to grow food for their neighbors and their family. And so that's what this whole book is about. And I have read through this, and it is very timely information. And if you read through, you're going to see a lot of things that we are still doing almost 70 years later. So this is the Victory Garden Leaders Handbook. They were calling out all over our nation for people to rise up as leaders and teach their neighbors around them how to garden and how to grow their own food and how to can and how to preserve. That's what this book is about. So if you flip through it, there's the introduction, and then here are the opportunities. It's talking about on the farm, and it's talking about suburban backyards. It's talking about community gardens, which is really big right now in some areas, especially where some of my followers are over in the UK. They have allotments over there, and that's their little community garden. And then they were calling for school gardens, which some of our schools are starting to do now as well. So you can see it was very important. We were at war, and we are kind of at war right now with this invisible enemy. And it's very important that you get out there and try to garden. I know that there's still a lot of time for you guys to get to planting, especially here in Texas where we've had our cool weather. But it's talking about Victory Garden committees, and it talks for the points for the leaders. And good gardens aren't luck, but they're planned. And that's what we try to help you do here on our channel, is we try to help you plan for now and for in the future. And we're going to talk more about that here in just a minute. So this handbook here, again, has very timely information, and it involved the whole family getting involved on the planning of their garden and what they wanted to plant, what they felt like they would eat, how they could preserve it throughout the year. So it talks about your soil preparation, it talks about fertilizers, and it talks about seed saving and how you don't need to squander your seeds. And we are at that now. And again, we'll talk more about that here in just a second. Talks about the tools that you'll need and what the vegetables and how they need lots of water and cultivating your garden and weed control. Talks about insect control. And it says fall gardens should not be forgotten. We're going to talk more about that. So here's how to preserve, and there's lots of books out there on how to preserve, but we also have several videos on our channel on how to preserve what you grow, whether it's freezing, canning, and some of it just in vinegar, like your pickling process. But this right here is talking about frozen, and you'll notice here it says the newest method of preserving foods is by quick freezing, because freezers were just coming online and people were figuring out how to freeze their food. We have videos out there on how to preserve some of your harvest by freezing them, whether it's tomatoes, your squash, your zucchini, your green beans, your corn. Lots of great information in here. So let's go on over to the next page. And it's talking about the campaigns and what the Victory Garden Leader, how that you're going to guide the people in your area on how to garden and how you are going to help them become self-sustaining. And right now, a lot of you home gardeners are self-sustaining for yourself, but maybe you need to start growing a little bit more for your family and friends. Talks about being a gardener. A victory garden is patriotism, and that is because it keeps our nation and it keeps our people safe. It keeps us healthy when we grow our own food and preserve our own food. So they have booklets that are available out there, or they did, and I'm sure they're still out there. But again, we got this off the USDA archive site. We'll put the link in the description below. So victory gardens are war work. We are at war right now, guys. We're at war with this invisible enemy. And so we need to just take this very serious, and we need to start growing our own food and be self-sustaining. So it talks about a dozen don'ts for your garden. You can see here. It talks about what you can grow in your small garden. And this even goes into such detail as to how much you need, when to plant, how much you need for each person in your family, how many pounds. But it talks about kale, and it talks about carrots and cabbage and green onions, and when you're going to grow and plant those. And look, I have a feeling this might have been done. This says at the University of Maryland, So you'll need to get a chart for your area. But you can see a lot of this is things that we follow here in Texas in the South, like our lettuces and stuff. We might back this up a month. So be sure and investigate that and get you a good book on planting for your zone and your area. Here it talks about some vegetables that can contribute to our food supply. And look, it tells you how much to grow and how much room it's going to take to grow these pounds. And it also goes into detail. This is the family planning. It also goes into detail about how much, and I believe it's back on this page here, how much you should grow for each of your family members right here. So be sure and go take a look at this and look at this timely information. And you'll see that some things have changed, but not many. So we've taken you through the Victory Garden book, and now we're going to talk about your seeds. I've been going on to the seed sites, rareseeds.com, which is Baker Heirloom, and I've been going on to Everwild and looking for seeds in other areas, and guys, they're simply not there. So what you need to do is probably log on once a week, which is what I'm doing, and start buying your seeds for the fall and for your spring garden next year, because I have a feeling that this shortage is going to continue on. Now, we buy non-GMO, heirloom organic seeds, and the reason why we do that is because some GMO seeds will not germinate if you try to do your seed saving. And there's arguments out there saying that that's not true, but we have tried it, and any of the GMO seeds that we bought years ago we could not harvest them and grow from them the next year. So be sure and get non-GMO and heirloom seeds. And what you're going to want to do this year is you're going to want to learn how to seed save from your harvest. So when your garden grows, you're going to want to take a couple of your fruits and save the seeds from those fruits so that you can replant them next year. But again, going back to what I've been doing this week is lettuces, beets, your arugulas, your spinach, all those, as you can see from the video I did just a short time ago, that they are starting to bolt. And so I have a feeling that as those seeds start to bolt, that lettuce seeds and your fall crops will start to become available, but they're just not available right now. So as these start growing and they start bolting, I think the seed companies will be more prepared to start shipping out. Keep watching, check on once a week, check on once a day, how often you ever want to, and buy what you can as soon as possible. And then you're going to want to start watching for your seeds for your spring and your summer garden next year as the year gets in the middle of the summer, and you're going to want to learn how to seed save. Start buying now. You want to prepare now. Always try to stay a couple of seasons ahead. This is what we do, and we keep seeds after we plant. We keep a little extra seeds just in case you get hit with a freeze or a frost. So I'm prepared to go out there and do some replanting today. Always keep a little extra behind just in case. So we appreciate you guys watching. We still have our project that's coming up in June that we're excited about. It is moving forward. We were concerned that it might not, but it is so far. Praise the Lord. Get out there and do some planting. I know some of you guys hadn't even had a chance to plant because it's still cool out there. So you got time. Even in Texas, you still have time to get some things in the ground. Please start growing. You want to get a victory garden going this year. You want to be able to be a self-sustaining, God-sustaining, because He's the one that teaches us and gives us the knowledge and gives us the weather patterns to do so. You want to get to that point to where you can do some canning and some preserving and have some food on the shelf that you grew yourself. It's not only healthy for you because there's no additives. We do not use any insecticides, so there's no chemicals on our food. But it's just good to know that you are able to grow some of your own food and save it, and it gives you simply some satisfaction and enjoyment. We enjoy doing this, and we enjoy eating healthy. We enjoy providing for our families, and you will too. Thank you for watching. We ask if you like this video, you click that like button and that you subscribe to our channel. There's lots of great things coming up. We're going to be doing some seed saving this year, serious seed saving. So you want to subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys. God bless you all. We are praying for you. Please continue to pray for us. We are all healthy. We are going into our 6th week of working from home. It is a very strange time, and it is getting stressful, but we are thankful that God has given us a little bit of land here to take care of ourselves and to take care of our others. Look out for your neighbor, look out for your family, look out for your parents. God bless. we'll check back with you in a couple of days.